Hello Tuesdays, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today I just wanted to do a thank you and an unboxing at the same time. There's actually a couple of thank yous. The first one is to Joe from Mad Genius Productions. Joe and I are in contact off YouTube, if that makes sense. He keeps an eye on me. Bless him. And I mean that. He's you all know I've got problems, and he just he'll pop up and just check how I am. So anyway, he'd sent me an email, and he said he'd just seen the BMP 3 video I put up. So that's about 2 videos back I did an unboxing of a trumpeter BMP, which I'm going to do as an invaded, I don't even like using the word, but Ukrainians have captured one of the invaders' BMP3s and they're using it against him. That's going to be the diorama anyway. And I said I'd needed to get some form of people sitting on it, or something like along those lines. And I think it was the same day he sent me an email and said, Gav, there's something on the way to you. And he's done this before, he gets me something, although he's in the States, and as we know, it's a waste of time trying to get anything backwards and forwards across the sea to the States, Canada and back this way, because both our postal services are just falling over themselves to make it as hard as possible for us financially. So he got me the MiG 17 that I built a few months back from a UK. It's actually one of the UK suppliers of model hobbies that I use. And anyway, he's got me these guys. How about that? As I've said to you guys before, it isn't about this type of thing. It's the fact, with me anyway, it's the fact that somebody's thought about you. I've got to try and, I've done that bit of painting for Jason, because it doesn't have to automatically be the guys that do this stuff. I try and, I've sent the odd kit out that I've had in my stash, and you just try and, what they say, what goes around comes around, something like that. But I've got to try and do something for Joe. And also Fredrik. I haven't put a thank you video up for Fredrik, I don't believe, but he sent me a bust that he got and a couple of Vietnam figures. Now I didn't do a video for that because my plan was to do the bust, and that would be I wanted to do a big shout out for him on that one, but it's just obviously with everything else Gav has on the go, it's just taking time. So I did want to also thank Fredrik. He sent me some stuff a while ago, and again, me and Fredrik just dropped the occasional message to each other, and that's really good, as I say, to be able to keep in contact with people. I think that's great. And look at that, somebody in Sweden, somebody in California, me in the West Midlands in the UK. There's no bars in the hobby world, like, you know what I mean? So again, Joe, I know you didn't want a thank you video or anything like that. You're not that type of guy. You don't shout. You don't have tickets on yourself. That's what we'd say over here. You're just a decent human being, and they really will come in handy. I'm going to do this quickly unboxing. Say there's the 4 figures, and I've taken them out of the box, but I haven't taken them out of the crispy packaging yet, and the ammo boxes that they're sitting on. But that's going to be a great help, and it's almost like a collaboration. So thanks again, Joe. Keep doing what you do. Joe's recently put a video up on Stash Ads. He traded in some cars for some tanks and aeroplanes from one of the localish model shops by him, and he did put up saying, do people mind seeing Stash Ads of whether it's models, figures, whatever. And myself personally, I love watching them. With the car guys, 90% of the time I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, to be fair. And that would be a British car, and mine American. It's mostly the American lads. But I still enjoy, you enjoy somebody else's enthusiasm for what they've got. You know, you actually feel that vibe. You know, it's almost as if you've gone and bought it yourself. You know, you feel that vibe that they've got off, that they've, you know, I don't get out to the shops really, but when I'm hunting on eBay for something, it's usually, occasionally, something just, you weren't looking for it. You had no idea what you wanted to buy that thing, but you end up buying it. And sometimes it turns out well, and sometimes not so well. But like that BMP, I'd wanted a BMP anyway. I didn't want to do one from that country, as in, you know, a model bought from a model manufacturer from that country, because as I say, there's too much water under the bridge now. But I still wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it as a Ukrainian one. Now, I know I push a load of Ukrainian stuff in that, but that wasn't for that reason as well. It was just I wanted to do one, but I wanted to do it in some. I didn't want to do a United Arab Emirates one, or even a South Korean one, or Republic of Korea. I wanted to do something, you know, along these lines. So yeah, brilliant. And Joe, keep doing the stash ads, Mara. I love watching what you get. I don't care if it's people are just showing bottles of paint. I like painting. so yeah. Also, Shamey, keep your chin up, Mara. There's not much I can really say that I haven't said on my comment to you. Modelling, figure painting, it's supposed to make us happy. Don't let it drag you down, because like you, I'm in my, not prison, that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean, I don't get out a lot. And that's why I do a lot of videos like you. I like to share what I'm doing. It keeps me in contact with people. But when you start overthinking it, then it's going to bring you down more. And that's not what it's not what the hobby's about. And although YouTube isn't a hobby for me personally, only speaking for me, it's a way to connect with other people that like the type of stuff that I do. And you know, and it keeps me in the fight, as I say. Well, they keep me in the fight, really. So yeah, you know, Shamey, I comment. We've not been subbed that long, but I try and comment on nearly all your videos, because there's the odd one I might miss, but not many. Do as many as you like. If you want to do 10 a day, 7 days a week, do them. That's your prerogative, you know. It's your channel. As I was saying, my channel, do what I like on it. So yeah. This is supposed to be an unboxing, and as usual, it's gone all over the shop, hasn't it? But thanks again to Joe for these. 1 minute. Right, I'm back. Yeah, I know, it's going to be seamless, but I went away for a second and I come back. Right. If I'm showing what Joe sent me, I wanted to quickly show you what Fredrik sent me. Sent me 2 or 3 actually Vietnam figures. Now you all know I really enjoy the view. Again, you always see a bit what any type of war when you say enjoy it, but unfortunately that's what I'm a military history stroke conflict buff. You know, that's what I am. I you know, I'm not saying I revel in it, but I have been ever since I was the youngest child, like, you know. And I've served myself and all that, so that's my pay. I've paid my dues. But he sent me these 3 guys, and he sent me this fella. It's got a little resin bust. Now I'm really looking forward to doing this, because he's only a little fella, and there's a little resin plinth type for him. And I can practice my non-metallic metal on that, and my face for that type of fantasy stuff, because I don't really do a lot. So this is getting painted fairly soon, Fredrik, and you'll see that as we go, and you'll get a better shout out than I can give you now. But both those guys, as I say, both those guys get nothing back from me other than thanks. And I do these shout outs because it's the only thing I can think of at the moment that I can help them back with. Not that, and they don't ask for it and they don't want it, but I think it needs to be said, you know. So thanks a lot, both those guys. You know, they just do it because they're kind-hearted people, and there's a lot more guys out there like that as well, as we all know. So let's go and do what we were supposed to be doing, which was opening this box up and taking a look at these figures. Right, guys, I was going to use the overhead tripod, but to be honest with you, for the size of the sprues, they can be handled this way, I think. So let me just get a bit more light on the subject if that's possible. Right, we've got a sprue, we've got one loose tank round there. These are obviously the tank rounds, so these rounds are going to be bigger than I would be using for the BMP3. But that's not to say that there isn't a tank sat next door to it or whatever. And if you go by the box art, these are all locked up shut for them to sit on anyway. If you're going to use them to sit on that, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have them sit. I'll obviously make the boxes up, keep the lids separate, I think, or you know, so that they just sit on top, and then decide whether I can have the figures sat on the boxes or sat on the BMP itself. I'm not sure yet. The one thing I hate of mine is when you obviously can't always adjust figures to a certain situation, and they always look slightly unnatural, as if they have just been popped on a vehicle, you know. So for me it's a matter of getting them to look as if they belong on sitting on that vehicle, if I'm going to go down that road. If not, they'll be sitting on the boxes. But I'd probably keep the lids loose if possible, or just tack down with a bit of PVA. Some really nice grain details. It's Miniart, you know. This is what they're really known for these days, is the little touches. Off the top of my head, I used to be able to, not that when I say used to, not that it was my field when I was in the army, but you just pick up things as you go along. I used to know a fair amount of the different tank rounds and artillery rounds and what each did, because obviously different shapes, different things. But unfortunately, with my messed up head, my memory goes in and out, and I can't remember them off the top of my head at the moment. Second sprue, the same thing. Can we go out a bit? Right, let's move these out of the way so the camera concentrates on one thing. This is our standing up figure. I'll get in close in a second. Right, let's get in a bit closer. That's our standing up figure. That's his padded tank helmet to a, well, it's not helmet, it's just padded, but obviously to stop him knocking himself out in the tank. That's where his radio bits and pieces go. You're not going to get a huge amount of detail on these, because they are like tank outfits, you know. Obviously we've got our, what do you call it? But anyway, you put your rank on them. Boots nicely detailed again. I think you can even see the little eyelets in them. Yeah, really nice. If they're anything like some of the other mini art figures, as I say, I'm not a fanboy. Sometimes they take a bit of filling, but when you do fill them, it's got a bit of flash on it. When you do fill them, they come up really nice. Sure what that guy's got on it. That's flash on his nose. That might take it. Have to be a bit of a gentle clean there. Oh, it doesn't look too bad, does it? But fairly flashy, these ones. I've not actually seen as much flash on a Miniart figures before, and there's a fair bit of flash on that one. Again, it's only light flash. It's not going to be a problem actually cleaning it off, but I've not seen as much. Again, this is another one with a tank. I'm looking through my viewfinder here, so we're trying to find the face. I always think these come up quite nicely. It's like those ones I did for Jason. When you actually got paint on the faces, I didn't think they were that. You know, everybody rushes to buy resin heads or resin figures, and when it comes to putting a resin figure together, you can sometimes do as much filling work as you can on a plastic figure. It all comes down to that bit of extra sharpness. You know, you might have a dividing line between a jacket and the trousers. They tend to be a bit softer. Sometimes on plastic figures, the faces tend to be slightly softer. But I was quite impressed with those ones I did for Jason. The ears were very slightly softer, but apart from that, you know, the faces actually came up quite nicely. I think what they do with the faces, it aids them if you can not just put, say, your base and a couple of highlights. If you can make some glazes or some washes and then put some different colours into the faces, I think you get a lot better from them, and they become almost, you know, I mean, that face there, that's everything as good as he's got like the old Cossack scalp lock on. Zaporizhzhia, is it? Zaporizhzhia Cossacks. Got a flash on the ears out there, making him look like he's got pointed ears. That's flash again by the look of it. So I just have to be careful cleaning them up. This guy's the muscle guy, and they've actually done him like that. He's got his knife in his hand there. Make sure you don't bust that off. I mean, again, if you do, it wouldn't be a hard task to replace it with something. And that's his bit of food there, his bread and sandwich or whatever he's doing, because he's cutting some food up. And we've got another figure. Again, uniform wise, there's not a lot I can show you because they are just tank suits, really. Got a bit of a smile on his face. Again, it's hard to see. There's just bits of flash around, maybe around the nose and that. I'm looking through a view on the camera at the moment, so I'll take a better look afterwards. But still, I like them. And then we've got two more sprues. Looks like obviously identical to the first two I showed you. So there's 4 sprues of box of. Is that one box? It looks like one box a piece, so 4 boxes. But they've been good enough to put ammo in them, so you know, if you want to show them open, or at least one open, you can do that, you know. So yeah, there you go. Now I've got the bust on the table, that little bust, so let's just have a quick look at him. There you go. That's really quite crisp, that, isn't it? I like that. It's light as a feather as well. I don't know. Obviously it's all hollow. Oh, with that there, is that a resin? Is it a resin? Hollow resin print? If that's resin, you'd think I know as I do the orbit. It is resin, I think. Or, no, it might not be actually, because that might be, yeah, that might be a bit of mould. Oh, I'm not sure, but I don't think it is resin, because if it sorry, 3D printed, because usually they're covered in little bits and pieces. But no, I like that. That's really chuffed with that, Fredrik. If you see the video, thank you very much. As I say, there's, you know, it's just I've always said I'm addicted to non-metallic metal. I'm not particularly good at doing it, but I do enjoy seeing it, and I enjoy trying to do it myself. So I'm actually going to look forward to that one. I didn't want to touch this yet because I'm obviously finishing the Vietnam figure off, but bust off. And then you get this little plinth as well. It doesn't sit massively. You'd probably have to open the. It's a bit. I'm not sure what I'd do with that yet. I might just open the hole slightly to get that fitting in further up. But I'd have that. I'd have this probably on one of my own plinths anyway. But you know, use that maybe as either use that. Or yeah, because I've got the holes there, and it's I probably have to use this as well. But yeah, again, really nice. I'm going to enjoy doing that. So guys, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. I do appreciate it as always. As I say, look out for that when it comes up, the bust and of course these Ukrainian armoured figures. I will probably, I'm not even sure what I'm doing yet, dio wise. It's not going to be a humongous one, but it will. I'll probably get a couple more figures as well. I don't hold me to it, but it depends what flips in. I've got half a, you know, when you already start forming things in your head what you're going to do, and I've got some ideas with that. So I might add another figure or two yet. I'm not sure, but Joe, that's really good of you. As I say, it now gives me the opportunity to really, you know, go to town on that project. I mean, Joe said, you know, don't think because I've sent you these, you've got to suddenly go and build them. Well, you know, I'm supposed to be building. I said, oh, I'm going to do this for Old Tom, and I will get the hot rod done for Old Tom at some stage. But I would like to do this. You know, it keeps calling me. I was working on the Badger last night, the one in 35 scale British tank destroyer, paper tank. And that, apart from building the, you know, tracks, it's always tracks. So I've got to start building the tracks over the next couple of nights. And then that's all ready for priming. Well, no, it isn't actually all ready for priming because I'm going to do some texture on it, maybe some flame cuts. I might be adding a few more welding seams in there as well. So, but that's starting to make me feel a bit better about it. And I'm also going to be working fairly soon again on the bike. What I normally have to do is have a week where, I mean, the bike hasn't been touched for over a week, I don't think, but bit by bit they all edge to the to the finish line. So guys, these will be appearing at some stage. Just look out for them, and obviously in between we've got some 28mm Napoleonic commission going on at the moment, so I'm a week or so away from starting to base the first unit, so we'll get that coming up soon. And I might even do a quick show of those once I've got another stand done. The couple of 28mm Vietnam figures, they are really. I've said to myself I need to push those forward, get them done. The basing tutorial, that's been held back very slightly just because of things getting in the way. What do they call it? Home life and that. But I will get that done as soon as I can. And there'll be other things, you know me, drifting through the channel as we go forward. So look after yourselves. Keep doing what you do if you're a channel content maker, because I really appreciate it. To all the guys that are in the YouTube community that don't obviously make channels, thank you very much for supporting what I do all this time. It's really appreciated. So look after yourselves, guys, and we'll speak soon.